Hello and welcome back to our HIP Roman Restoration campaign. In our last episode we finished our war against Swabia, taking one of the, I think 4 total counties that we need from them. So we'll still have a little bit more work to do, and we're also waiting for our plot against the Aztecs to fire, so that we can have one more war against them without breaking a truce before we probably just start breaking truces against them. Unless we can provoke some serious independence revolts or something in there, which is what we will be trying to do in that war. We're at 106%, so hopefully this should happen sooner rather than later. We're also in the process of building a tower in Constantinople thanks to our business focus, so let's see how that goes. It's been pretty expensive so far. Word has spread around the realm regarding your prestigious building project. Most people seem to be impressed with the scale of the planned tower, while others deem it an impossible task. So these various unimportant vassals are going to be slightly impressed. Okay. Sounds fine. Lucas here, our architect, comes up to us and complains about what hard and tiresome work it is to plan out how to carve the stones for the tower. He therefore asks you for more payment to finish the plans, since he has already used up the first payment. Strangely enough, according to rumor, he seems to have a lot of time to spare chasing after women in your court. So we can call him out, thanks to our high intrigue skill. And I'm assuming there aren't going to be negative consequences to this. Hopefully that's not an erroneous assumption. Sure, let's see what happens. If we can get away with not spending 400 more gold, that would be ideal. Before the construction of a building this large can begin, we need to make sure we have enough high-quality stone. Your steward suggests importing the stone from a reliable trade partner, while it could be beneficial to the region to have access to a nearby quarry. So we can build a quarry for a lot of gold, or import the stone for less gold, or reuse some old building materials for 10 gold? Would we be losing a castle by doing that? Or do we just have this available because we previously had an event to build a castle? I'm not actually sure what county this is happening in now. It might not be Constantinople, because I think we already had a quarry here. Though I'm not sure whether it would take that into account for these events. Well, I don't think we'll be building a quarry because that would put us pretty negative on money. So I kind of suspect that reusing the old building materials would have negative consequences. So we'll pay 460 to import the stone, which does also put us pretty low on money, but if the next event that makes us pay money, if there is one, is only about 460 as well, then I think we can afford that. But just to mitigate that a little bit, let's manually ransom some of our prisoners. For some extra cash. Let's especially focus on any higher ranking ones if we can. Since they're worth more, obviously. But the 10 gold ones also add up, I suppose. A lot of these are going to the same characters, apparently. So we'd have to wait. This guy was... I don't know, apparently we only have the option to banish him, not ransom. Alright, I guess that'll do for now. During the construction of your Grand Tower in Constantinople, a couple of the workers were killed by a fallen granite block as the ropes holding it snapped. People are now demanding stricter security measures as well as compensation to the families that lost their husbands and fathers in this tragic accident. So we can get some local revolt risk and become cruel, which would not only make us cruel but also take away kind. Which I think would be unfortunate, since we'd lose the diplomacy and vassal opinion. Or we can pay 230 gold. I guess we'll pay the 230. Hopefully our ransoms will come in and cover that cost at least. If not even more. My brother wants a fief of his own. And we'll mention a church career. Let's just check in on our plot. Still over 100%. Still nobody that will accept an invitation, except for this guy who says he will, but actually won't. Maybe if we just manually invite him to the plot, that will work. It's not going to put this over 200% or anything, but who knows. Yep, he finally joined. Okay. Alright, I'm waiting to hear more word about the tower. Maybe we're taking a break for the summer or something. Alright, Georgia has won their war. Probably they would have won it anyway without our help, but I'll take credit nonetheless. Our niece needs to be educated. Sure, that courtier will do just fine. Castile is taking a holding from the Knights Templar, which is fine by me. We still have a few holdings. I guess we should do something about this army of raiders sieging me here. That should be more than enough. Alright, we had a grandson born to our son and heir. He has a melodious voice, which I guess is okay. Let's see, we still have the genius here, of course. Who is going to be our preferred heir after our son. And a son was born to my brother as well. Apparently his wife died in childbirth, named Kraft. Okay. Well, you can name your children whatever you want, I suppose. Alright, let's go in there. Our grandson with the melodious voice has thrown up on me while we were dining. Alright, he's definitely not going to be our heir. Keeps doing that. And my half-brother wants a fief of his own, which we will decline. Maybe we'll get him married, though. We could get an interesting alliance of some kind. Princess of Kiev, perhaps. Maybe there's somebody who would take a matrilineal marriage. Could be interesting. Nobody extremely high ranked, I guess. Vassal of the King of Hungary. I guess that's probably in this land here. Yeah, this is Kiev. So that's actually not really going to give us a useful alliance at all. Yeah. We'll just let him get himself married if he's interested. Alright, still no word about the tower. Has everyone just forgotten about it? Oh, our plot is ended, which I think means that the Emperor has died. Exactly what that means. Okay. Well, that's great. We can get a war started. Except that we have raised levies, of course, because we were just fighting off these raiders. So let's disband those and get a war started. Alright, so I think we'll probably just take the largest duchy to weaken him as much as possible, and... Actually, no, we should take the duchy, whichever duchy has most of his domain holdings in it, I think. In fact, if we did that, if we managed to take most or all of his domain holdings, we shouldn't even need to spend a lot of time sieging stuff down to weaken him further. So let's see, I think if we do diplomatic relations and click here, we can see in lighter green where his holdings are. So he has 2 counties here. Now if we can find a duchy that has the most of these, I guess it would be here with 3 of them. These 2 are in the same duchy as well, though. No, but I guess we'll take this duchy. And then we'll just make sure to siege down his holdings in the other places where he has them. And we'll do it quickly by assaulting rather than spending a lot of time on this war. There we go. So it is just these... No, it's actually 4 counties. Okay, well that's fine. I'll take it. Alright, so we're going to want the armies from Castile, Galicia, I suppose, and of course Aragon and Portugal are merged these days. So I guess we'll just raise their army over here. Or not. Can we not raise an army from you? I don't think we did already. We just raised Navarra, Castile, and Galicia. Oh well. I guess we won't raise an army from them then. France we should be able to raise, and they should be... I expected more from them, but I guess that will do. We'll get Italia and Onaria. And we'll get Italy as well. Bring them over by boat. I guess we'll just land them over here. And we're probably going to want more troops than this if we're going to be assaulting stuff. So let's see. I guess we can raise Konya over here. And let's see who else we have. We can raise Morea here, which is actually just Italy, so we have them raised already. So that isn't going to help us. Jerusalem probably has a pretty good army now that they've taken over Egypt. So we'll take these and plan to use them on the capital. In fact, we can just land them here to siege that. And where were the rest of his holdings? Down here we have armies in place there, or we'll have them soon. And we do need to pay some attention up here as well, with our Wargol and his other holdings there. So we can raise Carinthia's army to probably do that. Maybe you as well? Alright, well that will do for now probably. This Duke claims that our despot is attempting to promote vile heresies. Is he? Doesn't look like he is. He's not the biggest fan of me personally. So we could get a reason to arrest him, but I suspect our chances of actually arresting him are pretty low. Kind of an understatement. If he's not actually in factions, which it seems like he is not, we'll just keep it to ourselves. Okay, so we need to get this army on its way up here, say. You guys can head up this way. We have our retinue here. We'll send them up to our target duchy there. We do also want to make sure that we fight his armies, of course. After years of careful planning, this guy from the court of some person is off to press his claim by force. Okay. Down here, I guess that does border us, so maybe we care about that to some extent. Not a great one, though. Okay, we also don't want to be taking attrition here right now, so let's see if we can avoid that. And if we can use our retinue here to fight some of the larger armies that he's just raised before they get merged together, that would be great. I think we should try to make a beeline for this 10k and fight them. And then we can shift our retinue over here to start sieging the target duchy. If we can possibly catch it before it's regained morale, that would be ideal. Oh, it looks like they're in this county. I think we'd like to make sure that we arrive after this battle is over, so that we actually get war score for this. Maybe we'll just stop for a day there and then try and catch them. Unfortunately, they've merged up with a smaller army, so not going to get too much advantage out of this. Okay, it's plains. We have the morale advantage. We should definitely win, at least. Though I do see this 28,000 over here. Hopefully they're too distant to actually reinforce. Our grandson needs educating. We probably don't care about him. But I think we get opinion from a grandson. Yes, we do. So we'll use him for that. We'll give him to Ravenna. Alright, so we have crossed a river. Shouldn't cause us to lose the battle, though. This is our retinue full of special units, namely cataphracts. Aubrey of the French Revolt approaches you at court, clearly upset. He has seen that the new tower now stretches higher than any temple in the realm. He raises his voice and nearly screams. This is unacceptable. You cannot climb into heaven, no matter how much you try. The way to heaven is the domain of the church. Well, you are just a revolt leader, so I don't know why you matter to me at all. So we can just annoy him. Or we can lose 50 prestige, and I guess that would also make the ecumenical patriarch happier, but I don't think we care about that too much. We'll just annoy this guy. Although maybe he's winning the revolt. He is, but it's only about crown authority, so he's not going to become our direct vassal anyway. So we'll just ignore him. Ooh, and we've run into an Aztec army here. We actually have reinforcements going in though, so that's good. Let's put some leaders in charge here. They'll be there fairly soon. And we definitely don't want to be taking attrition here, so we'll send you up this way and then you a slightly different way if possible. Not different enough. Okay, that looks good. Alright, looks like we are going to win this battle easily enough. I'm a little concerned about our retinue being alone over here, so I think I'm going to break off this siege and send these armies over in this direction. We'll prioritize fighting his main army before we settle down for any sieging. Okay, so this is probably going to be over before the main bulk of his army gets there. Yes, that's exactly what happened. Alright. So he is coming in to attack my retinue. Fortunately, we do have troops on the way. So we should be able to reinforce with this army. That would give us over 30k, which is about matching his numbers. Let's send this 4k over here as well. We have another 16k. Alright, I think it's going to be a close battle, but we should be able to win it. Especially if he's going to cross a river to come in to attack us. And of course this is our retinue, which is hopefully going to make a big difference as well. But we are just about out of time for this episode, so we'll have to wait for the next one to actually fight this battle. So thanks for watching, and join me again then.